Hi there, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining, thank you for finding me. This is not your first time, thank you for coming back. Please do hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you can join me every single time I'm live. Right now, we're going to be doing a ClairTarot reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers, there's no specific date. I've stopped putting dates because this information finds you when you need it. So, Cancer, let's get started. Ah, shit. All the cards fell. Hold on, guys. Freaking A. Freaking A. I'm back. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Melissa. So basically, let me get back to shuffling the cards. All right. The energy that I was given for Cancer is time for you to find your voice. I'm not sure what you guys are going through, but there's a need for you to stand up and speak out. I don't know if it's for yourself, on someone else's behalf. We're going to find all of that information out. Let's see. Final shuffle. All right. Second deck. Let's get started with this. All right. So there is a solar storm, and then we have a super new moon, if I remember correctly, that is really wafting quite a bit of potent juju around, affecting everyone's feelings, perceptions, all of that, myself included. I just ain't got time for the bullshit today. So let's see. Okay. All right. So Cancer, card number 20, softly, softly, the tender touch. Notice how she's in tears. Notice how energy is coming from her throat and out of her mouth. This totally aligns with the message that I was being given by Soul about how Cancer needs to stand up and speak out. That doesn't necessarily mean you're cussing people out, but that does mean something needs to be said. When people are, interesting. I just had a situation a few minutes ago. I do have Cancer in a prominent placement in my chart. But it doesn't mean you have to cuss people out. It does mean you have to speak truth. You have to speak on things that you know about. Okay? It shows that you're being very divinely guided. You're getting this information, and it's helping you to really, really more accurately assess certain circumstance. And so if you've been quiet and you've been just observing, you probably need to speak up at this point, okay? Because ugly things need to be avoided. It feels like something is kind of in the works that would hurt quite a few people that are close to you or that you love. I don't know if this is friends, if it's family, if it's coworkers, whatever it is, there's a need for you to speak up about what you're observing. Okay. And again, it doesn't mean you have to argue, but it does mean you have to stand in your truth and speak up. So Wings of Isis, untying, uniting uniting with the angelic self. So this is a call for you to rise. You know, crabs have their natural place, which is on the ground in the ocean, right? Yeah, no more. You need to rise up. Okay. You're not meant to just stay on the most bottom level of creation and just kind of be there. You're more than just here to exist. You're here to also you're here to also speak truths and be the gift that you are to other people. Okay. Sometimes because you are seeing from a different vantage point, you're able to see things that other people don't notice. So you have to speak up. Hold on. Let me see what the book says on this. You have a special spiritual relationship with the angelic worlds. Part of your soul purpose is to birth angelic consciousness and values such as fearlessness, compassion, and service into this human culture. This oracle brings you angelic assistance and intervention and confirmation that any impressions you may have had that you belong not only to the human kingdom but also to the angelic one are correct. So, I don't know if you guys are aware, but angels are an elevated position of service, meaning angels exist to help serve the divine will of the divine presence. Hold on. I'm being told that this also has to do with connecting. As I was saying, the other card, see how the lotus is growing from her crown and her third eye has all that energy. You are, in fact, connected, hardwired to some sort of divine presence, God, prime creator, whatever the heck you want to call it. You're directly connected and you're getting information. Cancers are notoriously protective of their family and their loved ones. So, yeah, you need to speak up. If you're feeling the need to speak up, stop trying to bite your tongue, okay? Because it's not going to be held in. It really isn't. It's better if you speak up before it becomes unbearable, because once it becomes unbearable, then it becomes like word vomit, and you're not going to be able to articulate what needs to be said in a constructive way. It's going to be charged with so much energy, like intense emotional energy, that it might actually make things worse, hence the reason she's crying. Softly, the tender touch. Card number 19, dream a beautiful dream. Whatever it is you focus on, you have the ability to manifest into form. You have the ability to bring this into fruition. So if there's something that's going on and it's really affecting you, it's not really your circumstance, but it's affecting you, maybe you need to focus on a solution so that you can bring that into to fruition for everyone involved. Because I know cancers have a tendency to hurt whenever the people they love are hurting. Okay. You also got Knot of Isis, energetic stabilization with a buckle of the beloved. What the hell does that mean? Let me see what that means. But energetic stabilization is important right now. It's really, really important, especially with all of these intense energies wafting around from the super new moon as well as the solar storm. So each initiate has their own unique spiritual blueprint with particular skills, talents, and higher destinies unfolding that use their unique attributes. Part of your spiritual blueprint is a special relationship to the energies of the goddess. This means that not only do you have the important spiritual task of helping her thrive in this world, but you are afforded her power, protection, and abundance too. You are now deepening your connection to her. Let me see. So this really speaks about the divine feminine. Let's see. Part of your high destiny this lifetime is to heal and flourish through the divine feminine in her many forms, especially in those forms that truly resonate and hold meaning for you. This healing will happen on your personal path and may well be part of the work that you offer in service to the world. So I am really getting a very intense message of, like, how in a patriarchal society, which is what this entire world is, a patriarchal society pretty much programs women to just martyr themselves. You have to just accept things as they are. You're a woman. That's just how it is. You have to accept it. If you're going to heal through the divine feminine is not a martyr. She's a warrior queen. Okay, look at the animal kingdom. You look at any animal within this kingdom, and you will see the female is always much more savage than the male. Look at the lions. What do the males do? They're basically just there to make sure that there's someone that represents the pride, meaning all the females who do all the work. I'm not a feminist. I totally believe in equality, meaning we each shoulder the burden of existence together, both masculine and feminine. Okay. But if you're going to look at this, a female was never really supposed to be beneath anyone. She's supposed to be equally as powerful as the males within her space. So it's time for you to rise up. If as a Cancer, you're embodying more of that feminine energy, and that's not a bad thing. But again, we're programmed to believe that feminine energy is something that should be soft and just, a push around, and, you kind of just have to look pretty. No, I don't think so. Try telling a lioness that. Good luck with that shit. So yeah, no, it's time for you to rise up. It's just time. It's time to rise up. And card number 9, what do you feel? You're comparing things. This has to do with some sort of circumstance that you're in. I don't necessarily feel like this has to do with a third party circumstance. For some of you it does, but for the most part, I don't feel it's third party. Yeah, Billy. Praying mantis eats men's heads after. Very protective of her family. Black widows too. You're the food source. I'm just saying. But you have to make sure that you understand what it is you're comparing. And in addition to the comparing, you're so just distracted by all kind of stuff going on around you. It feels like you're getting sucked into something that you shouldn't be getting sucked into. That's the feeling that it gives me. Like, does someone who deals with produce wear this type of outfit? And the feeling that I get is like, that's not part of your job description here on earth. And yet you've kind of been cajoled into doing it. Like, no, I don't think so. Focus on what you need to do to grow yourself, to keep yourself safe, to keep your energy safe. Whatever it is you need to do, make sure you're not doing it out of fear. Make sure this is you making a conscious decision to flex your sovereignty. Like, no, I don't need to do that. That does not put me in a position where I will be safe, where I will feel safe, where my needs will be taken care of. And my responsibility, first and foremost, is to myself. Okay, Cancer? I think that might be the greatest statement that I'm going to make in this live for you. Your obligation, first and foremost, is to take care of yourself, not other people. And Cancer is notorious for that. I know Cancer in my chart, I'm guilty of that too. So life restored, priestess of the phoenix. Look at that shit. That's badassery. Let me see what this is. Okay. Spiritual resurrection is gifted to you now. Whatever part of you or your life you thought to be dead is being revived and will flourish back into life. Just as a phoenix rises from the fire, transitioning from the death into life, so too will you rise again, healed and renewed. So this is a process. If you're trying to fight to hold, that's deep. If you are trying to fight to hold on to something with bloody fingernails so that way it doesn't burn up, set that shit on fire. Set it on fire. A phoenix rises from the ashes. It doesn't mean it has to be your ashes. I'm just saying. What are you actually holding on to? For those that this resonates with, and it's not going to resonate with everyone, If you're holding on to something and this is resonating with you, what are you holding on to? Anything that's yours, you don't have to hold on to. It's yours. Individuals, you cannot take ownership of individuals. You can't take responsibility for another sovereign being. So, what are you holding on to? Are you holding on to something that, if it goes, it causes your ego to feel as though you failed, you've lost, I don't know, something negative? If that's the case, let it go. Now, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to um, seeing and feeling clearly for a relationship, I do know Cancers struggle so badly with boundaries, with not bending over backwards to the point where your back is broken and you're still like, what else can I do to make this work, to make this happen? Well, what if it's not meant to? And you know, that this is just a general question. What if it's not meant to? And if that's the case, if it's not meant to happen, um, aren't you interfering with your own process of growth? Holding on to something as you're trying to rise up adds weight. It makes your rise that much more difficult. How about we try and allow ourselves to rise and give the people that we love the type of love that gives them the freedom to choose to meet us higher? We don't have to lower ourselves. We don't have to do any of that. We do have to begin consciously choosing to love people in such a way that frees them to be themselves and travel their path without any restrictions or limitations coming from you. Because that's not actually love. That's an attempt at ownership. And everybody struggles with this at some point in their life. It's not just Cancer, it's not just me. I don't care what it says in your chart. Every single person will struggle with this lesson at some point in their life. And that's okay. All right. That's a part of our growth. So, Cancer, this is all about your growth right now. No one else's. Your growth, your path, your choices, not allowing yourself to be coerced into doing things you don't want to do, things that are not in alignment with you or your path, and not allowing yourself to do this to anyone else. And so that's a beautiful thing about sovereignty. Whatever you feel like shouldn't be allowed to be done to you is the very same list of things you shouldn't be doing to other people. You know what I mean? And not to say that you're doing things to other people, but it is important to note that sovereignty, it's a mirrored thing. You can't claim to be sovereign and then dominate someone else. All right, so let's get you more clarity, Cancer. All right, let's see. Let us see. Oh, it's time. Oh, that's intense. This is all very intense. Intense imagery. I'm gonna have to get the book because I accidentally on purpose dropped the mother freaking book. God, of all the places. Hold on, guys. It's like a weird ass location. My God. What the heck's going on here? All right. So, card number 18, treasured memories. You know, oh my gosh. This is intense because the first thing that I think of is it's time to cut the string and let go. The memories are with you always. You no longer need the balloon. You have the memory of the balloon. And look at that. The balloon it's basically like gossamer at this point. You can see through to the clouds, and within that balloon is a cloud. And it's like all the things that have minimal amount of permanence That tells me whatever this is, whether it's just a cycle or it's pertaining to a relationship, it's about done. Okay? It's about finished. You have to accept this. If this is resonating with you and this is a question you've been asking yourself, that's your answer. It's about finished. Okay? So we see a woman sitting calmly in the grass. She looks forward to somewhere we don't know, while her mind is drifting in the past. With both hands, she's holding a floating balloon filled with clouds. These clouds are old memories she wants to keep and treasure. Our past experiences don't define us. We can't live the life we had long ago, but the past does shape us. And the remembrances of loved ones in joyful times can help us be our best selves today. So it's really a matter of exerting sovereignty and deciding, choosing for yourself. Are you going to remember the past in a negative light? Are you going to hand select memories to hold on to that are negative? Or are you going to choose to see things that were positive, moments where you were helped in your growth by being with this person or by being at that job? What are you going to choose? Because you get to choose. And it's important to also remember, just because you choose a negative memory doesn't negate all the positives that came from it. That's something people have a hard time, a very, very hard time realizing. Someone can do 10 amazingly beautiful, loving things for you, but the moment they do one thing negative, that's all you focus on, the negative, how they failed you in that one moment of negativity. And that's a very common thing to do, very, very common thing to do. And it's important that we begin recognizing we are the ones choosing what we remember and how we remember it. Okay. Now, your next card is Queen Bee. Strength. What? Sorry, something popped up on my laptop. Um, Strength, growth, motherhood. Madam Queen Bee is being strong yet gentle in mothering. Her skirt is a flower tower, home for bees that sustain our ecosystem. She gives strength, power, and life to her surroundings. She is Mother Nature. She's responsible for the tulip that sent energy into the world and all that grows to know the beauty of each day. Her children are the children of Earth. She nurtures all of us. So, Cancer, you've taken on this role for far too long. Okay. It's been far too long that you've taken on this role. You have to have balance within your existence. You can't just always be the mother bee, the queen bee. Sometimes, as a part of this life experience, you have to experience moments where you're just a simple worker bee. And you have to be okay with that. You can't always be the one carrying the entire responsibility of the hive. You just can't. You have to be fair with yourself. Okay. You have to give yourself the kind of nurturing love that you give the people that you love. So, card number 8, Red Garden. Look at that. She got a green parrot on her shoulder. And it's like, love speaks to you. It's your heart. It tries to guide you, but you look the other way. Interesting. On this card, we see a woman strolling through a garden full of flowers. The flowers have become part of her body, and a parrot feels at home on her shoulder. During her walk down the path of life, she keeps happiness and gratitude in her heart. She notices the simple pleasure of life and is thankful for all nature has given her. So if the parrot is your heart and it's on your shoulder, this is, again, a call for you to choose to remember to stay in your compassion, in your grace, to understand that you can choose to remember the good times, not just the negative. And you can walk away from a situation with less wounds than if you were to hold on to every single ugly moment. It doesn't benefit you to make a list of all the ways in which an individual or a circumstance has failed or hurt you. It really doesn't, because then that's just a list for you to fixate on and further perpetuate in another relationship or circumstance. If you're going to continue focusing on the problem, that's all you will ever find, because that's all you will ever manifest. And I'd like to think you want more than just that for your life, right? I'd like to think you'd like way more than just that. So let's go ahead and get you guys a message from your soul. This is the Rumi cards. I love these cards. All right. Ooh, card number 35, the lover and the beloved. That's a weird thing in the back. Well, if you make that list once a day, all the reasons to be miserable, then that's what you're going to be, is miserable. And you can't ask other people why you have bad luck, because it's not luck. It's what you're creating. You're programming your misery. So card number 35, the lover and the beloved. When you move beyond consciousness, you caress the beloved. When you move into the unknown, beyond everything, the beloved caresses you. It's not enough to love me. I want you to allow me to love you. It's not enough to desire me. I want to be closer to me, or to want to be closer to me. I want to reach out to you and grab a hold of you, drawing you into me and never letting you be apart from me again. There is so much more for us to experience, you and me, than simply gazing, even with love, at each other from a distance. Let me take you into my arms. Let me hold you until we cease to know or care where you and I once were. For instead, we will be one. Will you allow it? Will you allow me? Will you allow us to be? So, Cancer, there's love waiting for you. There's so much love and nurturing and just love waiting for you. But if you won't allow it, then it won't be. If you won't allow it, it won't be. It really, really just won't be. I'm also getting information that for some Cancers, you're not allowing the actual information, the guidance from soul, to be received. That keep kind of just trying to convince yourself that, no, that can't be, that can't be. No, I just made that up. No, that's just a coincidence. I don't really believe in coincidences. I believe everything happens for purpose, and that if you don't want to receive, then you won't. That's how creation loves you. Creation loves you in such a way that frees you to be and do as you think is best for you. And whether it's actually the best or not, that's kind of irrelevant. It's whatever you feel, whatever you think is best for you. That's what's allowed to happen, because that's how you grow. That's absolutely how you grow. You can't tell a flower how to grow. You just give it the components that it needs: the soil, the water, the sunlight, and then it grows on its own. And that's kind of what, that God presence, God, prime. I don't know. I kind of just had a brain fart. I was thinking of Prime Collector, and I was like, that sounds like a collection company. Total brain fart. But allow yourself to receive. That's what your higher self is trying to say. If you allow yourself to receive the guidance, allow yourself to receive the love, because it seems like you're trying to hold on to something where there's no more love, where there's nothing but just kind of obligation and a sense of, well, this is kind of where I'm at. You know what I mean? But there's love out there, and you're not trying to see or even notice it because you're so focused on holding on to something based in ego. And this is not for all Cancers. This is just for some. So if this resonates with you and you're doing this, ask yourself why. What are you afraid of? because this oftentimes is rooted in fear. Once you identify what it is you're afraid of, you can begin looking for the solutions that are necessary to correct the circumstance. And then you can implement. Once you implement, you're free to go. You'll be able to process and move forward, allow yourself to receive the kind of love and nurturing that you so generously give other people. Okay, Cancer, you don't have to keep suffering. You don't have to keep hurting. There is such a thing as unnecessary pain. It's been said that pain is a teacher you ever come across in life, but the struggle is optional. Pain is you have to experience pain at some point. Never experiencing any kind of pain means no growth. Okay? It means no growth. So pain is necessary, but the suffering absolutely is not. That's a choice we make. We choose that option. When we suffer, we choose that because we fight against the very guidance that our higher selves are trying to offer us. Okay? So, you guys, if this resonates, please give this video a thumbs up. Even if it doesn't, just give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me every single time I'm live. Thank you so much for sharing this space with me. I will see you guys again in a little bit. Got to finish all the zodiac readings. Bye.